Hey guys, I hope this video finds you well. I know this is a trying time for everyone being cooped up in their homes and away from everything they love to do and the people they love to hang out with, but wanted to connect with you a little bit this week and continue our conversation about some of the supporting characters in the role of Jesus in Jesus' story as it leads up to the cross, as we looked at it during this season of Lent. So this week we were going to focus on the Apostle John, or John the Apostle as many call him. And so again, I'm just going to rattle off some facts and so on, and then we'll get to how this ties in with us. So bear with me. I figured you guys would like to look at a candle instead of my face for a change, so here we go. John was one of the 12. He was generally considered one of the younger apostles, the son of Zebedee and Joanna. He was the younger brother of James, who also was a disciple, and they were among the first disciples that were called. He was Jesus's half cousin, his mother Salome being Mary's sister. He was one of the two disciples with John the Baptist when he proclaimed Jesus as God's Lamb. Jesus nicknamed him and his brother Boanerges. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but Boanerges, which means the sons of thunder, revealing that they were ambitious, as seen in Mark 10:35 through 37, and that they had intolerant natures, as seen in Luke 9:51 through 54. Despite his obvious human failings and sins, John enjoyed an affinity of kindred minds with Jesus, which led to him being called the beloved disciple by others in the group. He developed a spiritual grace during Christ's ministry. In John 18:15, he risked danger by entering the high priest's home during Jesus' trial and later brought Peter in. Also, when he joined Peter in the tomb, he saw the meaning of the carefully arranged grave clothes and believed in the resurrection. And you can find that story in John 20, verses 8 through 9. This spiritual insight may account for him being listed second only to Peter when they gathered in the upper room after Christ's ascension in Acts 1:13. He was a great apostolic leader in Acts. He helped preach the Pentecost sermon in Acts 2:7 through 8. He accompanied Peter when they healed the lame man in Acts 3:1 through 10. Was jailed with Peter in Acts 4:1 through 3, and was with Peter when they reported to their brothers in Acts 4:23. Peter and John were sent by the other disciples and the other apostles to investigate the Samaritan revival in Acts 8:14. This was significant and points to a shift in leadership. They were sent, meaning the others trusted them. They were sent by the others, meaning they were emissaries of the group and had the authority of the whole group. He was a brilliant author of Christian teachings. He is not mentioned by name in Acts after the visit to Samaria in Acts 8:17, but continued to be a significant church leader, a humble man, often omitting his name from the stories. His most lasting contributions to God's works came in the 5 books that bear his name, including the Gospel of John and Revelations, who many refer to as the Revelation to John. Biblical scholars still argue about all of this, of course, and we may never know who truly wrote what, and frankly, I don't think it matters. He outlived all the other apostles and is believed to be the only one who died of natural causes. He passed away somewhere around 93 or 94 years old of natural causes. He has been named a saint by the Catholic Church and is referred to as Saint John. Many people refer to him as Jesus' beloved or the disciple Jesus loved. But he was often rebuked by Jesus, showing again the closeness between them. If we're willing to disagree with someone and point out where they go astray, to show each other our faults and to label them, that's usually a place of love. because we're looking to better that person, not to ridicule them. So that's what Jesus rebuking him was about. Paul referred to him in Galatians as a pillar of the church. He witnessed Jesus performing miracles. Jesus brought him with him to the mountaintop where he was transfigured before him. John was one of 3 people to see this. On the night of his betrayal in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus takes Peter, James, and John with him to pray and asks them to keep watch. Matthew 26, 36 through 46. Before Jesus died on the cross, he entrusted his mother Mary to John's care. John 19, 26 through 27. This is only a small account of the things John witnessed and did with his life, but I wanted to bring us back to the beginning. In Matthew 4, Jesus begins calling his disciples. Starting in verse 18, he calls Peter and his brother Andrew, and then James and his brother John. And here are those words from Matthew 4, verses 18 through 22. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw 2 brothers, Simon, called Peter, and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw 2 other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, preparing their nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. You see, all of these things that John did, all these accomplishments, all these things he witnessed, everything he was a part of, it all began by answering a call. Now, we can look at all the things he did and be intimidated and all of his accomplishments and the influence he had and feel inferior to that. But before it all, he was a normal guy. He was a fisherman who answered a call. A call that Jesus makes to all of us. Follow me, he says. So what is Jesus calling you to? What will answering that call lead to? How will your life influence the world? What will your role in God's story be? I'm going to leave you with this last piece of scripture out of the book of John. It is chapter 13, verses 34 through 35. And it says this: "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." We are called by those before us, but more importantly, we are called by his love. We are called by his love to love each other. And I hope that you will answer the call. Stay safe, wash your hands, keep your distance from each other, and find ways to show love to those around you. Maybe call your grandparents. Maybe reach out to a neighbor and just let them know you're thinking of them. Maybe offer to walk someone's dog for them. There's lots of things we can do without coming into contact with each other. There's lots of ways we can love each other, and just know that we love you and we hope you are all doing well, and we will talk to you soon. Peace and love.